Hi everyone, I'm Roslyn Roberts, and today I'm talking about what Stranger Things teaches us about power, secrecy, and broken trust in the government. At a first glance, Stranger Things looks like a sci-fi. Underneath all that, the show tells us a powerful story about what happens when the government gains control and stops being accountable. The main example of this is the Hawkins Lab, a secret government facility doing dangerous experiments, including on children. Eleven is one of these children and is the main character. No one knows what they're doing, and no one is holding them responsible. My argument is that Stranger Things warns us about what happens when people in power prioritize secrecy and control over transparency and democratic values. It shows how fear can be used to justify government overreach and how that destroys public trust. In class, we learned about Project MK Ultra, a real government program where people were experimented on without their consent. That's exactly what happens to Eleven in the show. The lab claims it's for national security, but what they're really doing is violating basic human rights without any oversight or accountability. This connects to the political science theory of elite rule, where a small group makes decisions without involving any of the public. We also talked about democratic backsliding, how democracies don't usually fall overnight, but through small secret steps. Hawkins Lab is part of a democratic government, but it acts like it's above the law. That's a warning. When government agencies work in secret, people stop trusting in them. And once that trust is broken, oh, it's sure pretty hard to get that back. The show also ties into instrumental rationality when people are treated on base how useful they are and not who they are. Dr. Brenner doesn't see Eleven as a person, he sees her as a tool, and that's what makes his actions so dangerous. So, how could this have been prevented? Well, through accountability. If Hawkins Lab had been required to answer to any public committees or any external oversight, things may have turned out very different. A healthy democracy depends on transparency, checks and balances, and respect for individual rights. Without those, power goes unchecked and people suffer. In the end, Stranger Things isn't just about monsters. It's about what happens when fear justifies secrecy and power isn't held accountable. That's something we need to keep an eye on, not just in fiction, but in real life too. Thank you.